My son asked if families can get reassigned. He was 7 years old, sitting at the kitchen table, barely touching his cereal. I laughed at first. Reassigned? What do you mean, buddy? He looked up at me with these tired eyes. Like at school. When you don't like your seat, the teacher moves you somewhere else. My chest tightened. Why are you asking that? He went quiet, pushed his spoon around. I just wondered if I could try a different family for a while. I set down my coffee, sat across from him. Buddy, families don't work like that. You're stuck with me forever. He didn't laugh, didn't smile. He just nodded and said okay. Like I'd told him we were out of his favorite snacks. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying his words. Try a different family. What 7-year-old thinks like that? The next morning I talked to my wife Marissa about it. She barely looked up from her phone. Kids say weird things. Don't overthink it. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I started paying closer attention, watching how my son acted around Marissa versus how he acted around me. With me, he was normal, talkative, laughing at my bad jokes, showing me his drawings. With Marissa, he was different, quiet, careful. He'd flinch sometimes when she moved too fast. I told myself I was imagining things. Marissa was strict, sure, but she loved him. She'd been his stepmother for 3 years. Then I found the notebook. It was hidden under his mattress. I was changing his sheets while he was at school. The notebook fell out and landed open on the floor. The pages were filled with tally marks, dozens of them. At the top of each page was a word, yelling, pinching, no dinner, locked in room. My hands started shaking. I flipped through page after page. The tallies went back months. One page said bad words, she calls me. The list made me sick, stupid, worthless, mistake, accident. Another page said things she breaks, his favorite toy car, his drawings, a photo of his real mom, who died when he was 4. I sat on his bed for 20 minutes, just staring at the notebook. My son had been documenting his abuse like evidence, because he knew nobody would believe him otherwise. I took photos of every page. Then I put the notebook back exactly where I found it. That night I watched Marissa differently. The way she spoke to him, the little comments disguised as jokes, the way she'd grip his arm too hard when he didn't listen fast enough. How had I missed this? 3 years of missing it. The next day, I called a family lawyer, explained everything. She told me to document more, get recordings if I could. For 2 weeks, I gathered evidence, hidden cameras, audio recordings, screenshots of texts where Marissa complained about him to her friends, called him a burden, said she wished I'd never gotten custody. The recordings were worse. When I was at work, she'd scream at him for hours, lock him in his room without lunch, tell him his real mom died because she didn't want him. I filed for divorce that Friday. Emergency custody hearing Monday morning. Marissa showed up acting confused, heartbroken. She cried and told the judge I was having a mental breakdown. Then my lawyer played the recordings. The judge's face changed. Marissa's lawyer tried to object, but the damage was done. Temporary full custody granted immediately. Restraining order against Marissa. Child Protective Services opened an investigation. When I picked my son up from school that afternoon, he looked scared. Where's Marissa? She's not coming home anymore, buddy. His whole body went still. Because of me? Did I do something wrong? I knelt down to his level. You did everything right. You were so brave. And I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner. He started crying. Not sad crying. Relief crying. The kind that comes from holding everything in for so long. I hugged him in that school parking lot for 10 minutes. That night he asked me if he could sleep in my room. I said yes. Around 9 p.m. he whispered something in the dark. Dad, I don't want a new family anymore. I pulled him closer. Good, because you're stuck with me forever. This time he laughed.